What game do we need to play? What problems are still in the way of you achieving the thing that you said you wanted to achieve in 2025? Let's talk about it.
Do you want to do what you love at a higher level? We're going to find your voice, and you will see the difference.
I'm with my fave of all time.
Has completely changed my life. Lorraine is so awesome.
Lorraine is so amazing.
And Lorraine's got an incredible vocal coach.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Let's talk about what is in the way, Cassidy. What, if anything, is in the way?
Well, for me, what's in the way? I think like in terms of like long term, I really need a better system to get music out faster. So I've been slowly kind of chipping away at this. It's kind of a big task because there's obviously a lot of moving parts. Um, yeah, I've been learning how to produce better and better every single week. So I've just been like chipping away at writing a ton of songs, producing those songs and getting really good at it, with the help of my partner who usually produces for me. So he's kind of like teaching me and I'm kind of going, learning as I go. So that's like the long-term thing. I think I'm also trying to make merch for my show this Thursday, which has really kind of gotten in the way too. Like I've never had merch that I really love before. Like I've had merch, but it's never really been something I've been confident in like promoting, which is I think it should be. Like I should love it. And so I'm doing everything that I can to like make something that I really, really love. So that's like short term, but long term, releasing
Okay, so
music.
let's unpack the two problems that are facing you. And by you sharing them, Cassidy, so number one is how do you produce music faster? Some of you are still such perfectionists when it comes to perfect production. And I'm just going to reiterate several things that we've talked about in the past. I would love you all to think about your production in buckets, three different ways of producing music. One of them, Cassidy, for sure, is that you're going to learn how to produce yourself. 𝐋𝐨𝐫𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐞'𝐬, I was just sharing with Kira, who we worked with already at 9 a.m. What a diehard she is. And actors, by the way, actors and dancers are more disciplined than musicians, hands over. Any athlete has more discipline than you guys do, right? Creative people just instinctually want to be all in your feelings, and that is how we write songs, is because you feel so deeply. But you're also perfectionists, and it slows you down, right? You're judging yourself and comparing yourself up against some artists that are out there in the world who are paying $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 for production. So you cannot compete. It's not possible on the production level. So you have to start looking at other ways for you to stand out. And so I was using 𝐋𝐨𝐫𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐞'𝐬 as an example, that as his career is blown up, and many of you know that I use him as an example a lot, his girlfriend, Allegra Jordan, who I've also coached quite a bit, he just stopped producing for her. He was just like, my career is blowing up. You got to figure this out. I'll mix it. I'll tweak some of the production, but you're going to have to produce it for yourself. So you got to really think about your own production, everybody, as three different buckets with possibly three different producers. Maybe you do learn how to produce for yourself. And while you are working with two other producers, Cassidy, you're also working on your own, or you could sit with a producer as their go, like be in the room more. So Chris used to go every time that I was at Noble Street Studios. He would come in with me. He came in with me. He learned how I would produce vocals. He would sit with the engineer and ask questions. And it was just something that I would do. Sometimes he would hire someone just to mix, and he would sit in the room to mix. Because often the production is not the problem, but it's the mixing part. That's the problem, isn't it? So that's like editing a movie. Get in the room with people and be a part of the process. It's very difficult to do it remotely. So you can do it remotely. There's a lot of trust when you do it remotely, and the price tag will be less if you do it remotely also. So let's think about it in three buckets, three different price points, and maybe for you to explore, some of you, writing too, and here's two really good suggestions for you. Number one, obviously go to BeatStars, YouTube, lots of online platforms. Use AI to produce your tracks. You really can, in the style of. Okay, so that would be, I just gave you a bunch of stuff there. But the second one is sometimes I write songs to existing karaoke tracks of songs that I love, and then I will have the artist record themselves a cappella, send it to the producer, and say, I was inspired by 𝐋𝐨𝐫𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐞'𝐬 𝐁𝐨𝐨𝐤𝐬, blah, blah, blah. And it's amazing what will come back, because with the specific reference, the producer can actually to your exact song. Like, it will sound incredible. And that's a fast way of producing original content less expensively. When you're in the room, it slows things down, so the price tag goes up. That's just what happens. Okay, does that help in terms of the production? Solve the problem through collaboration. Solve the problem, yes, with money and time. Money and time. But 3 different ways to do it. The second thing that you were just saying is merch, and we've got someone on this call right now, James Favron, who's amazing at making merch. So, reach out to James and see what he can suggest in terms of making. I'm a big online Vistaprint, get shit done. I know you want it all to be meaningful. It's the same as your songs, you want it to be perfect. But the truth is, you just need something cool. Like, James makes it himself. He makes little bracelets. Now he's embroidering his own t-shirts. I've had people who just buy from Michael's, the art supply store, plain t-shirts and give markers. And you can stand there and you could sign the merch. Literally just sign your name on the plain t-shirt for $10. So let's not overcomplicate these early things, but I love the idea of having something tangible at your shows. Something tangible that people can walk away with is brilliant. So don't underestimate that, Cassidy. Having something for your 28th is key, because this is a game of being memorable. And so how do I be memorable? I have to create a great experience in my live show, but I need something for people to take away. If they really had a great time, I want them to walk away with something. Okay, and it does not need to be expensive, and you can figure out buying a t-shirt for $3. Sign it right there on the spot. Love Cassidy. Find also like play with your signature. Play with maybe a shape. Maybe it's a heart, maybe it's a star, maybe it's a moon. What is like a shape that you could create almost like your own logo for this period of time? So again, I think sometimes the problem that's in front of you is that you want it to last forever. You want this logo, this to be, the thing that everyone has forever. It might not be, right? But we can start playing with the ideas right now. That makes sense. Does that help? Yeah. I mean, it's, obviously the AI situation is insane. And I actually think the idea of you signing something in real time is going to make it feel so authentic, because, you're doing it, right? It just means that people have to buy it for $10. So we often talk about delegation, automation. Obviously, the AI thing can be really helpful too, to speed up. So whatever problem is in front of you, let's look for creative ways to solve the problem quickly. It doesn't mean that it's solved forever. It just means that it's solved in the short term. And by you solving each problem that you are facing, it builds confidence within yourself. Every time you complete something, you gain wisdom. And so if you wait for that perfect piece of merch, or that perfect production, or that perfect lyric, or whatever is perfect, you are waiting and you are losing the momentum in yourself to actually become a more confident artist, more realized. So creativity loves speed. Yeah, James.
I just want to say on the merch thing, if you can find something that you would wear or make something that you would wear, that makes it so much easier. Like, the bracelets are great because I wear one of these bracelets every day. So it's easy for people to see it. Like, I don't know. I think, like, as an artist, where a lot of times people try to sell shirts or merchandise that they aren't wearing. And your audience wants to feel like they're part of your gang, part of your crew, part of your world, and they're representing the same things that you're representing. So if you can think of something like a little necklace or like something that you can make, again, because it's going to be most cost effective if you can make it yourself. It's going to be a little slower, but that's okay too. You're not selling 1,000 at a show right now, anyways. But if you can find something that's like cost effective that you can make and wear and that you'll wear, and then people want to wear it. Whenever someone comes around me with their bracelet on, they show me and we do a little bracelet thing because everyone's like, I'm wearing my bracelet because they see me wearing my bracelet, right? So just a tip, do something that
So
you're doing so they feel like they're part of it with
agreed.
you.
And it's also just smart in terms of that AI thing. How am I going to stand out in this world that people can create amazing things? So it's real, it's tangible, and you're showing it. Here's another really cool tip for those of you who do have a show and you do want to sell merch. Make sure you've built in a moment, because Cassidy and I worked on her show, and we didn't add merch to it. Like, we didn't really talk about merch as our last talking point in that last segment of songs. So I'm going to suggest that everyone start thinking about what can you show and share, just like James said, he's doing that off stage, but what can you do on stage? If you're wearing it, if you find a moment, if there's a sing-along part and you're like, oh my God, you were amazing, and you just throw a t-shirt out, you show the t-shirt and then you throw it into the crowd, you're building FOMO. You're actually building a real feeling like, oh my God, I want that. I want that hat. I want that bandana. I want that t-shirt. The girls who aren't on today, Jameson Rye, had their big show with Nickelback, and they did it. They used this. They have a whole segment that we created. Well, this is where working with a coach is so amazing. They told me a story about how they met. Their moms were really good friends, and when they were babies, the moms would get together and drink wine together, and they were just hanging out and having a play date, okay? And that's turned into this love of music. They were both pursuing music independently, and then now they said, well, why are we not doing this together? Obviously, they've created Jamie and Riley have created Jameson Rye. So we built a segment about how their origin story, how they got known, how they came together. And they created a thing and they used the words drunk mom. We subsequently changed it now to party mom because we realized that there's a little negative connotation to drunk moms. But they have a whole moment where they go, who are the moms in this audience? Who are the moms? Like, they're calling out the mothers in the crowd, and it's a whole, just go onto their social because you'll see they posted about it. It's so cool. And then as they get the moms to do something, singing in that thing, they then throw them a t-shirt for doing it. They're sing, and they made like a oh my God, like a beauty queen Miss Universe sort of thing that says drunk mom. And so we're just tweaking it to say party mom because it is a little nicer, but that will now be party mom. They get awarded the party mom sachet, that's what it's called, and then they're given a t-shirt. And that whole segment could take 5 minutes, 7 minutes. It could take 30 seconds, but they actually built it into a really cool moment in their show, and people will remember that moment because of it. So you guys have to think about, what are those moments that I can create a real connection, sell your merch by showing it, and you will see more people at the table, Cassidy, if you do that. Cool? What is another problem? What's a problem that's being faced right now? No problems? There are no problems? You're all like on fire? Nobody's facing a problem?
I have problems, but yeah, my problems are my body. I've burnt out. So I had a tooth removed last week. They didn't give me antibiotics. They messed up, so I got a mouth infection. So I'm not even getting into it. All I'm saying is there's stuff that I want to do, but my body's like, you need to just stop doing things. And that's why I was hoping to be in studio today. But
Right.
I see that we're not even there. But anyways, yeah, my
No, but this
problem
is
is
a
like
good problem to share,
I'm in
Robin.
overdrive, Yeah.
It's a good problem to share because I think people, when you're on fire, especially, and we're inspired, which Robin, you've been very inspired, which is great. We push our bodies, actually. We tend to not sleep enough. And we say yes, yes, yes to everything. And at some point, the body, as you've just pointed out, is going to give away. Things happen, you get sick, you get a toothache, you have to, deal with life. So I would like everyone in their problem solving mode to just think about what you need. It's a phenomenal question. What do you need to function at your highest level? What routines can you put into place to help that? And I'm going to ask everyone, if you haven't been working with the summer journal, you must have at least 8 hours of sleep. Everyone needs sleep. And most of you don't do that. I mean, of course, I want you to exercise and to eat right and all those beautiful things too. But sleep is the #1 killer, man. It's going to kill you. Your body shuts down. Your immune system gets weak. You get every flicking cold under the sun. You must sleep.
I have something else to say
Yeah.
that's, I think, pertinent to people who use their mouths to make their money with singing.
Mm.
I broke 3 teeth in my mouth because I was so stressed out. I cracked the one they took out last week. They took out in two pieces, and the the dentist and the periodontist and God knows who else I have to talk to. They're like, you can't do anything about this other than not being stressed, right? And academia drove me crazy, which is why I'm getting into like music and art now. So I'm just saying, like, I'm paying like $7,000 in like implants because I was stressed out. And sometimes you don't know until it hurts. So just pay attention to your teeth and like your
Right.
oral health. Seriously.
Well, and let's apply it to the stress that can come from those financial burdens, the time burdens, the pressure that all of you may be putting on yourself, right, to have a bigger fan base. That pressure actually gets in the way of being a true creative person, because an artist, this has to come from inspiration. So if you're stressed at all about what you're doing, I want you all to put your hands up, just kind of picture a white flag coming out and try to regroup and find your inspiration. Because the minute that it is too stressful, the energy that you're putting forward won't attract the audience that you want. See, now you're chasing something instead of doing it because you really want to. So artists will always benefit from finding inspiration. You must find it. What are ways of doing that? One of the artists that was in here, definitely a developing artist, I was just giving, like, you have to write down sometimes 3 things that give you inspiration. And so one of them is obviously listening to music. I know most of you listen to music and then you get inspired. Maybe it's going to see a show, see a concert. I picked up my daughter very close to the Downsview new Rogers Center here in Toronto, and I don't know how the houses around this area are going to deal with it, but it was so loud, James. The Oasis show, I could have, like, from my car, and I was at least 10 minutes from Downsview, I could hear every note, every word of this show. Like, it was like a free concert in your backyard, but if you don't like music and you live, at all near Shepherd Avenue, you're going to be really angry, Anyway, whatever. So you have to find inspiration. I find proximity changes extremely inspiring. So you have to know, like, what is it? Is it going out with friends? Is it a conversation? Is it reading a book? Going to a movie? What do you find inspiring? So that when you lose your inspiration, you have a list of things. Because, by the way, when you spiral down, it's hard to kind of remember what they are. So I suggest writing them down. As simple as that seems, write down the things that you find inspiring, because you're not brain surgeons. Nobody is waiting for you to release one more song. None of you have a big enough fan base. Nobody cares if you make a social media post. Nobody. There's nobody waiting for your next anything. Nobody. Maybe your best friend, maybe your mother, but nobody is waiting. Take the pressure off. Find inspiration. Get to a point where you want to. I just posted something, the difference between need and want. You do not need to do this. You want to do this. And when you get to that point where you know how to generate who you are, it is a must. Like, let's use the word must here. You know, I must do this. I must write a song. I must sing. I must perform. It's a part of who you are. Does this make sense? It's who you are. So it's not something that I need. I don't need anybody to love me. I don't need anyone to applaud me. But man, I love this. You know, it's got to get to that level. And so every time you lose your inspiration, the problem becomes too big. You get overwhelmed, too stressed out, as Robin was just saying. You got to figure it out, put your hands up, remove yourself, put the phone down, whatever you need to do to kind of regroup and get inspired and make a list of those things. And I'm excited to dive into it with all of you. Let's stay inspired, solve the problems that are in front of you, and the path will clear. And the more you can do it, the better you will get at it, the more confident you will be that you can face the problems in your life, because you can. You can do this, and you're not alone to do it. Goodbye.